empathy doesn't mean you're kind all the time, and kind doesn't mean nice. I think nice is not being kind actually, but it's really about trying to upskill people in how they can give and receive feedback, the dreaded feedback capability. But it's nothing more or less to show that if you care about people, you care about telling them how they show up and the impact it has on others, and you give them a chance to do something about it. That's how I articulate that for myself, for my peers, and for the people that I have the privilege to lead. But again, it's a skill. You get better at it if you do it every single day. And if you do it very progressively, it's not as difficult because you don't wait too long until it becomes a real issue. So, obviously it's a work, it's a journey, right? There's probably places where we need to do much better, places where we do really, really well. And the only common denominator for me is leadership capability and how well your leaders are selected, promoted, and really leading that empathy and inclusive capability. So we can do more, but I think it's more being focused and being very consistent over time, and that's what we do in North America. We do try in everything we do, especially in the way we communicate to our executive, to our employee base, to always keep giving context and empathizing with the current state of the business. What are the challenges we see? Because it changes so fast that I think it's really important to recognize that for the people and recognize that it's a lot. Yeah, well, data is really important. And, if I were to give advice to HR people is, increasing your data fluency and comfort level is something that is a game changer. If you can translate what you do into a dollar amount or a measure that really does speak to a business leader, it's half of the battle, right? Because it can't just be like I think it's going to be great, right? There's lots of things in HR we touch that are, difficult to measure, kind of invaluable. It's kind of, intangible. And I think, leaders who have seen some concrete savings or a heightened engagement or big capacity on speed to hire are much more open then to listen to things that are harder to sell without clear outcome from a money standpoint, because usually you think about savings. A lot of things we would do may not lead to savings directly, but if you take it, to the value chain of how we keep people engaged, you get the return on investment, right? In some way, shape, or form. But I think it starts with really being very, very specific on things you can drive short term to help. So a recharge break, for instance, it's actually a saving for the company, right? Because people have bought the time ahead. So when they leave, you won't pay them while they are away. So at the time of the moment where an employee would take their recharge break, at that moment, it's going to be an actual saving for the company. So this is an upside, right? So those are the kind of things that you can actually calculate and project in the future to actually give it a trend based on an adoption rate that might be 5, 10, and in our case, we have much more people who have opted in because we knew there was a need, there was a wish for people to take time off, to take more time off out of work, right? That was our research and our belief. So that's my advice, right? It's build the trust, and yeah, you need to see HR as a business too, right? We lead the business of people, which is one of the biggest asset a company can have, and it's one of the biggest costs for a company, right? So that's how we need to think to actually continue to make an impact on the business.